It's time we start sailing uncharted seas. Third Eye Global will slowly but surely start infiltrating the UFC/MMA content sphere. And we're going to do it better than anyone has ever done it before. This is Paddy Pimblett versus Ilia Topuria feud exposed. Now, for those of you who don't know, Ilia Topuria, the Georgian-Spanish El Matador, just knocked the daylights out of Charles Du Bronx Oliveira, which has a lot of people speculating. Is Ilia Topuria up next? If he's not already, he just moved up to #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world. If I had it my way, it would still be John Jones, forever cemented in that position, just like Dana White intended. Let's get into it.
Think Khabib versus Conor was the biggest rivalry in MMA history? That beef doesn't even come close to the storm that's brewing between these two titans.
This is the hand sanitizer incident where he chucked a bottle at Ilia Topuria's head. Little nit, little fart, little mushroom. Various insults were thrown. And Ilia Topuria did his best to hurl them back at him, but it falls on deaf ears with a thick accent. You can't really understand him. So it seems as if Ilia Topuria duct tapes cinder blocks to his hands. He's got the touch of death, similar to Alex Pereira, where he starches people. And there is a very weird overlap between prime Conor McGregor and Ilia Topuria. In fact, bro studied. He DM'd him, said, I'm going to be like you one day. He has the same back tattoo, same chest tattoo, similar fighting styles, not identical, but there are similarities. Insane highlights, knockout reels.
Spanish Georgian power and precision boxing versus Scouser grappling and pure chaos. What style will come out on?
I think Paddy the Baddy is vastly underrated. He had one weak performance. I forget who it was against. But other than that, he just destroyed Tony Ferguson and by proxy David Goggins, as well as Michael Chandler. I mean, that was brutal. That was a beatdown.
On top, in today's video, we're diving into the full story of the Ilia Topuria versus Paddy Pimblett rivalry, a beef that's been building for years. Don't forget to like the video.
In my opinion, I think Paddy destroys him on the ground, but this guy seems to have zero weaknesses in his game. He's just so OP.
And subscribe to the channel. Let's get it.
I wouldn't be mad if Ilia beat Paddy. Don't get me wrong, because he's that impressive to watch. However, there's a side of me that really appreciates the unseriousness/physiognomy of a guy who looks like Shaggy and slams donuts and beer beating you. Like, that's funny, that's engaging, that's interesting. There's something there. It's the GSP versus the John Jones attack plan. Do you go out and party and do lines of creatine before you kill someone in the cage? Or are you like a monk that doesn't miss a single day of training and is just a cyborg? Like, okay, we get it, but where's the personality?
Into it.
When is it going to happen between these two? There's no official date yet. I don't even know if he's next in line. I think there's a guy, Islam Makhachev, who might be up next for him, but once again, that's another cyborg. Robot v. robot. That's not, you don't sell a fight like that. I guess you could for the accolades, but in the bragging rights.
This all started nearly 3 years ago, long before either man had reached the top of their respective divisions. At the time, both had notched a few solid UFC wins, but neither had yet faced top-tier opposition. Still, They were both loud, confident, and had no problem speaking their minds, especially about each other. Then came Paddy's tweet mocking Topuria and even taking a shot at his homeland.
Lad, how stupid are these Georgians, man? No wonder the Russians terrorize their lives. What the?
Of Georgia.
What excites me more is the fight with Paddy.
Really?
Yeah, that fight excites me even more. He said
He's in his head. He's living there rent-free.
something about Georgia.
Oh, he said something about your country.
Yeah.
What is that?
He said,
And
like,
according to Paddy, he cannot be knocked out because he's a Scouser.
now I understand why the Russians are bombing Georgia or something, like putting bombs in Georgia. And
Whoa.
I'm like, bro,
Whoa.
don't joke with that.
Yeah,
You
it's a
can
fucked up
joke
thing to
about me. Say whatever you want to say about me. Whatever. He's a mushroom. He is this. He is that.
He said it. He called himself a mushroom.
Da. Don't talk about war because you don't know how is it. He said that on Twitter.
Oh, wow.
On Twitter.
He said that on Twitter. Maybe he was too high.
He's Georgian, but he moved to Spain when he was 15. So he speaks Spanish.
Too drunk. I don't know.
That didn't sit well with Ilya. You're talking about a proud, emotional warrior. And when the two finally crossed paths at UFC Fight Night in London,
Yeah, you have like a stoic, serious assassin versus an absolute chaos agent. And Paddy's just got the personality. I mean, it's entertaining.
Topuria lunged at Pimblett with fists flying. Luckily, both camps stepped in just in time to prevent a full-on brawl.
It's IRL teabagging. They get pissed and can't play as well, so you win. Yeah, that's exactly it.
He missed with his punch by about that much and I bounced the bottle off his head. You know what I mean? He's an absolute idiot, little bully, and thinks that he's a someone that he's not. You know what I mean?
That altercation was the spark, and since then, the flames have only grown hotter. Paddy, in classic Paddy fashion, called his new rival Mr. Sanitizer Hands.
So from now on, he'll forever be known as Mr. Hand Sanitizer. He's tried to make it look good on his part when he looks like an absolute idiot. I can't believe.
Paddy got the psychological advantage. It's over for Buddy. The winner is decided before anyone enters the ring, and if Paddy can get him to lose his cool, all that monk mode is for nothing. You see, I would agree with you, but Ilya just might be that guy. He just might be that guy, dude.
He posted that video, he's made himself look so stupid.
And Ilya, he's mentioned fighting Paddy in almost
A random fact I know about Ilya Topuria is that he's a OG Counter-Strike player, which kind of enhances his aura even more. Now, obviously, I'm a World of Warcraft player at heart, but I understand the level of Johnny Pencil-Neck determination needed to go far in Counter-Strike, and that's a type of focus and tism that's hard to beat.
every other interview since.
I really want him. Win, draw, lose, it doesn't matter. I want to fight him next. I want to kick really.
It's a different build. The reason why I like Jon Jones so much and perpetually glaze his ability is because of the story and the character that is Jon Jones, right? It's really hard for me to get behind, I guess, a fighter in this case, if they're just like single focus, just kill people, right? In the ring. Like, that's cool and all, but where's the Renaissance personality as well?
His ass. I feel this way since the first time he texted about Georgia, about my country.
My feelings are best summarized by Paddy calling out David Goggins. I'll show you this clip.
David Goggins in his corner though.
David Goggins ain't got shit on me. Know what I mean? When I finish Tony, I'll go over to David and say, "Who's gonna carry the boat, son? Who's gonna carry them? Because it's not fucking him, is it?"
David.
And then he backed it up by destroying Tony Ferguson. That's funny. That's cheeky. In it?
Since he takes that,
I don't like the Dagestani fighting style because they're just like, they're monks. That's all they got. Just wrestling smash. Same personality. No sauce. No swag.
I wanted to take his head off.
What do you think about Paddy?
He's a That's all.
As a fighter?
As a fighter, I don't want to waste words.
It's just a strong silent type versus the cocky warlord. And to me, it's a lot more fun rooting for those guys.
It's about him, you know. Just, I don't care about him.
But the most iconic moment.
Speaking of cheeky, you can get 10% off if you use code Philion at checkout. Use cheeky.com/Philion. And free shipping to the US for your starter pack.
In this rivalry didn't come from a punch, it came at the UFC 282 press conference. That night, Paddy was scheduled to face Jared Gordon, while Ilya was matched with Bryce Mitchell in a restless test. But none of that mattered once the microphones turned on.
Obsessed with me, lad, it's heavy. He hasn't stopped tweeting about me all week, lad. He needs to sort his life out.
Him out, please, loudly, shut up, man.
What did you say, Jared, anyway? That little bum's irrelevant.
I don't understand you or anything. Back in the flouty mouth, like what?
Hand sanitizer, boy!
You see right here, the accent is way too thick for any sort of shit talk to be conveyed effectively. It's not his fault.
You.
English, yeah?
Hey.
Speak English.
You want to talk to me like the man to man? You said something about me. I went to your country. I slap your face. I get at the waist.
He's got the mental game on lock. He's in his head, bro.
Win. I walk like a king in your street.
You talking English?
What you did? What?
Ilya speaks 4 languages. Well, English is not one of them.
Is that English?
Yeah, of course I do.
Speak English for the people.
Shut up.
Not German or Spanish like you're from.
I'm talking.
Mongrel.
Talking in English.
Yo!
English and you in English. Y que te follen en español.
You're a little mongrel.
Shut up. If not, I'm gonna stand up and I'm gonna crush your face right here.
Do it then, you little
Mash you up.
fart. You have another question? Do it then, you little pussy.
What's wild is Ilya Topuria is 1 year older than me. And not that that's important, it just puts things into perspective. This guy's 28. This guy's 28 years old.
What? Do it? Do it? Come on, do something then. Do something, stand up. What'll you do? You'll do nothing. You'll do nothing, you little fart. Go and sit back down. Sit back down, you little pussy. Puta.
Calling someone a bitch in their native tongue is diabolical.
Pussy. Everything he talks.
You little mushroom.
Hey,
You little chorizo.
If someone calls me a mushroom, I'm crashing the fuck out.
You full Spanish sausage.
I don't think he gets
A little chorizo, Spanish sausage.
the balls to face me and close himself in the octagon with me, so him. See guys, he didn't give me a response. Why? Because he's scared of me.
Lad, you're irrelevant to my life. Why would I be scared of you? You're a midget with little man syndrome.
Yo,
Know what I mean? You're tiny. Why would I be scared of you? Serious? Come on.
Why you-
Exactly, that's what you're known as. Hand sanitizer boy.
yeah, you cannot play Smash Bros against Paddy. The game is over before you even begin, bro.
What happened at that presser stole the entire show. Both fighters held nothing.
People who are scared of you don't call you midget to your face. I've never seen somebody psychologically hijack another man so effectively.
Nothing back. No punches were thrown, but
You see, technically speaking, Ilya is up here in terms of rankings. Paddy Pimblett's down here. He's probably got to fight a couple more times. That's why Dana White is faced with a difficult option, because Paddy Pimblett is probably a cash cow because he's got the big personality. But if he feeds him to Ilya Topuria and just gets knocked the fuck out, then it's like, okay, there goes Paddy. So they'll probably have to juice up that hype a bit more.
but the words were nuclear. Threats, insults, pure venom. It was a war without the cage. And after all that heat, both men walked away with wins, but in very different fashion. Ilya Topuria absolutely wrecked Bryce Mitchell, dropped him on the feet and choked him out in round 2. Paddy Pimblett, on the other hand, delivered one of the flattest performances of his career, edging out a very controversial decision against
This was the fight I was referencing before, where it was not a good performance, and it is the L that a lot of people reference in terms of Paddy's career. However, Paddy Pimblett is on a fucking warpath right now and just destroyed Michael Chandler.
Jared Gordon that left fans and media furious. Of course, Topuria didn't hold back. He clowned Paddy on social media and kept throwing jabs at that weird fight with Jared Gordon. But after a while, the rivalry went cold and entered a phase of quiet war. For months, both rising stars stayed in their lanes and focused on climbing the ranks. Paddy kept pushing his way up the lightweight ladder by beating names like Tony Ferguson and Bobby Green. Meanwhile, Ilya Topuria was busy making history. In June 2023, he dominated Josh Emmett, then in
I forgot about the Bobby Green fight. That's a round 1 triangle choke submission.
February, he shocked the world by knocking out Alexander Volkanovski, a feat nobody had ever achieved in the featherweight division. And then,
Yeah, so Topuria just beat Volkanovski, Max Holloway, and now Charles Oliveira, which is like 3 titans in the division.
he went even further. At UFC 308, Ilya faced the second greatest featherweight in UFC history.
You know what this is like? Have you guys seen Cars 3? When the new age car just absolutely dusts everyone on the track, passes Lightning McQueen. That's Ilya Topuria. It's like your time's up. Like the new wave is here. Yes, Jackson Storm. This is Ilya Topuria. This is literally Ilya Topuria. Like, time's up, bud. No, you were great while you were here, but no, it's over. It's over before it began.
Max Holloway. And on that October night, Topuria delivered a flawless performance, becoming the first man to ever knock out the iron-jawed Holloway. Unreal. Naturally, his old nemesis couldn't just sit back and stay quiet.
He comes to come back up to lightweight. Still think I'd beat him. I really do. I still think I'd beat him.
Yeah, Ilya's 28, Paddy's 30.
Whether he's just beat Max Holloway or not, I still think I'd beat him.
Soon after, Paddy Pimblett finally got his shot to crack the top 10. His mission? Take out Michael Chandler, who was ranked number 7 at the time. And just before that bout, Topuria spoke up again with a bold interview and something a little...
And these last 3 wins were all knockouts, by the way. Knocking out Max Holloway, Oliveira, and Volkanovski.
extra.
He needs to win.
Who? Chandler?
No.
Paddy?
Paddy. He's fighting with a veteran. You know, he needs to win, and hopefully he wins, because who knows? May in the future we face each other. It could be a great fight.
Age also means a smarter fighter? Perhaps. But it seems as if being younger has its advantages as well, where you're less likely to get knocked out and you probably have more power.
You and Paddy.
Me and Paddy. You can joke. Sport is sport. We athletes. I respect all of that. But there are lines that you can't cross. You know, the people's lives are involved in this joke.
And these are people, right? Oliveira, Holloway, Volkanovski, that are treated as like warriors, where they can't get knocked out and they're just, you know, they're just beasts, they're tanks. And Ilia Topuria walks in and steamrolls them all.
You can't do that.
Is
Little pimple.
Little Pimple?
Yeah, Paddy Pimblett. Yeah. He gets so fat, I don't know, anti-athletic. And to be honest, I don't know what to tell you.
Like, I would say, this may be a high IQ take, Ilia Topuria has the athletic physical advantage in terms of raw power and perhaps even skill over Paddy Pimblett, but Paddy Pimblett has a higher fight IQ, responds better under chaos, and is a better grappler. We'll see, though.
He's a good fighter. He's not a good fighter. Sometimes his fight sucks. Sometimes he does something that looks good. I don't know. He's a very average level of fighter. Let's say it like that.
He officially announced that he would vacate the featherweight title
And he already won the PSYOP. That's right. The mental diff. It's already cooked.
move up to 155 pounds, aiming to become a 2-division UFC champion. Fans loved it. Paddy? Not so much.
I'd love to welcome Topuria. I'd love to welcome El Chirizo to lightweight. I'd love to, but I've heard he...
Fight IQ comes from skill and training. I think there's a certain level of natural creativity and instinct as well.
wants to sit out and try and just get a title shot. I personally think he needs to fight somebody at 155 at least before he gets a title shot.
He called the move unfair, fired off shots at interviews, and painted a vivid picture of how easily he'd beat Ilia if they ever fought.
I always knew he was a good fighter, know what I mean? Like, that's sort of what pisses me off about him. Even though I hate him and I think he's a bellend, like, I wouldn't lie and say he's a shit fighter, because he's not. But that's what he says about me. And it made me laugh when he said, what did he say? He called me fat. That's like, lad, you can't make your weight division anymore that you are champion of, and you're trying to call me fat. He's a midget, lad. He's tiny.
John Jones fight IQ. I saw that in a pro wrestling match and thought I'd try it out. That's actually true. Bro learned Muay Thai off YouTube videos. That's what I mean, where there's just a natural talent that, like, John Jones is GOAT status.
Smaller than Michael Chandler. You'll see what I do to Michael Chandler next Saturday night when I dismantle him, and it'll be a very similar game plan to beat Ilia. He's small, he walks forward, swinging shots. I'll kick him up and down the octagon, and I'll either knock him out or submit him.
And after all that talk...
Like, that is true. Ilia Topuria stays in the phone booth, marches people down, and then just one-shots them close range like Little Mac. But the fact that he's even addressing that he's going to kick the shit out of him, which Charles Oliveira tried to do, but he was only throwing rear leg checks, calf kicks, right? He had no front leg, so it became predictable.
Paddy went out and delivered. He absolutely dominated Chandler for 2.5 rounds, and when the beatdown got boring, he finished the veteran with vicious ground and pound. The message was clear: Paddy the Baddie is not a joke. Even the haters started to reconsider. Maybe this guy does have championship potential after all. In his post-fight interview, Paddy made one thing clear: Topuria doesn't interest him anymore, and if they do fight, it'll be completely one-sided.
I forgot all about him, or I would have mentioned him in the cage, you know what I mean? I don't call him hand sanitizer boy anymore, he's now El Chirizo. But as I say, I literally forgot all about him. That's how relevant he is. I'm ranked higher than he is at lightweight, so You know, I'd love to welcome him to 155, but apparently he's sitting out and waiting for the title.
So Topuria has the 145 belt and the 155-pound belt, which is now in Paddy's weight class. So Ilia Topuria is a double weight division champion.
Shot, but you know, that what I've just done to Chandler's after blueprint to beating him. He's even more of a midget than Chandler is. Like, I'll do the exact...
No, that's not true. Did I fuck that up? He vacated the 145-pound belt for the 155. Gotcha.
same thing to Ilya than what I've done to Chandler.
But despite Paddy's protests, UFC gave Ilya the golden opportunity, a title shot in the lightweight division. He'll face none other than Charles Oliveira, a former champ and submission wizard who's sure to test every inch of Ilya's game. Still, if Topuria beats Oliveira and Paddy scores another big win over...
He's a two-division champion, but not a double champ. I think Volk has the 145 now. Yeah, but come on. Come on. You think if you run back Volk and Topuria, Volk's coming out on top?
Over a top 5 opponent, then their grudge match is back on the table, and this time it's bigger than ever. And honestly, that fight should become the biggest event in UFC history since Khabib vs Conor. But now we want to hear from you. Who wins, Topuria or Pimblett? Could this rivalry actually surpass Khabib vs McGregor? Is Paddy the real deal, or is Ilya about to shut him down for good? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's coming next.
What do you think, boys? Are we all irrationally Paddy Pimblett fans now? Ilya will win first round? Nah, I don't know. That's a normie take. The high IQ take is that Paddy Pimblett wins